Adam, welcome, mate.
Mate, thanks very much for having me. What is this, Bearded Chat number 2?
Bearded Chat number 2.
Number 2.
Yes.
Number 2.
So you're still breaking us in.
Yeah. Well, I think Ricky Bobby said it. If you're not first, you're last. So.
Shake and bake, baby.
Shake and bake. Shake and bake.
So, well, mate, thank you so much for coming up. You're from the Gold Coast, come out to Brisbane. And
traffic is killer, mate. Traffic was ridiculous. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Anyway. Yeah.
Did you drive up in the old Land Cruiser?
No, I didn't. I actually should have. You know, who doesn't love an old car? You know, an old Land Cruiser. You know, we don't have as many old cars like you, but
yeah, Toyota versus Jeep. We'll get into that debate later.
Yeah, that is. I think Hayden's already sort of organised a bit of a film off, and we're going to do some. We'll go to Land Cruiser Park.
Yes.
Yeah, and is there a Jeep park? I don't think there's a Jeep. No.
No.
Oh,
Rubicon Trail.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, Land Cruiser Park.
That's fine. We'll show you up at your own park.
We'll have a clipboard out doing all these tests.
Clipboard, yeah. That's exactly
hey, that would be really
exactly
interesting content.
Yeah, well, it would be.
There's a lot of Jeepers and way more Land Cruiser people.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know the guys at Patriot Campers?
Yes.
So I had an old cruiser. So, you know, I'm a bit of I love the old cruisers, but I bought one and then I bought another one, and then I was like, I've got too many cruisers. It's a bit of a problem.
You inspired me to buy my Jeeps.
Yeah.
So
and then
I hate you for that.
Yeah, well. You know,
and I love you at the same time.
I'd won. And then you went all hardcore and bought like, I don't know.
9.
Far out. You need a warehouse just for that.
There is.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, I apologise in advance for your addiction for that.
That's all right.
But, yeah, the guys at
the Jeep thing you wouldn't understand.
But, yeah, the guys at Patriot, they actually bought my old one and bought it for his son, who just loves FJs.
Yeah.
And they actually did a competition where they had what they call the Black Trucker. It's another Toyota, but it's an absolute weapon.
Yep.
And he's got 2 twin boys, and one of the boys drove the Black Truck and one of them drove the old FJ.
Excellent.
And they had a competition against him.
That's
another.
Cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. And they do some awesome content. They're great content.
Well, they've got pretty decent camp as well. Shout out to Patriot Campers.
Yeah, Patriot Campers. Thanks for buying the old FJ, but also thank you very much for letting me still see it and, you know, well, not experience it, but still see it. And I'm glad it went out.
You've got some good replacements.
Yeah, I'm glad it went to them.
So what cars have you got? What Land Cruisers do you have at the moment?
So I've got 2. Well, I've got one which is mine, which is an old 1978 FJ. It's a style side ute. I love it.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Rare, those style sides.
Yeah, and you know it's 4-speed. You know it doesn't really crack 100. But look,
no aircon.
No aircon. The radio doesn't really work, and it chews fuel. But it is a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah,
you know.
There's something about that. They're just like they're so mechanical. You're like just everything about it. Just, they're a badass car.
It's like you get
truck.
in it. Well, truck, yeah. No power steering either. So, but you get in it and you drive, and it takes away everything that's going on in your life, and you jump in this and you go, and it's just an awesome feeling, and it's a way of me sort of clearing my head, and you know, like I've got so much going on that when I jump in that, and you know, wind down the windows because you need to because there's no aircon. And yeah, you need to be able to just release. And I find jumping in that, and it's one of the best things I ever did was buy that. So, and then we've got another one too, which is an old Troopy. It's an 84 model FJ Troop Carrier. And we actually bought that as a bit of a promo vehicle for one of our brands. And, you know, I drove that back from Sydney and it was a long trip.
It would have been a long trip.
Trip.
They ride really smooth, those things.
Mate, it feels every bump. Every bump. My sister hated it, so she drove back with me.
Amazing.
But yeah, she really didn't enjoy the trip much. But anyway.
Speaking of brands, this is one of your fortes, you and your business partner, Blaze.
Yep.
So you have created, how many brands have you got in the apparel industry?
So at the moment, I think we're sitting at roughly 8 brands, and there's 2 new ones in the wings.
Yep.
So one that we've just actually bought. So the first time we've ever bought a brand. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's,
cool.
It's something kind of cool. We're taking that over at the moment, and we'll give that a bit of a relaunch and stuff like that in the next month or 2. before Christmas. And
Amazing.
capitalize on that
So-
that sale period. And then we've got a couple other ones. We're always coming up with new ideas and
Yep.
and launching stuff.
So probably we'll start off with one of your first brand. What was the first brand you made? Because you were at a job at a big apparel business already.
Yep.
And then you had a bit of a side hustle on, and then you came up
Yeah.
with a brand that just took off originally.
Yeah, well,
Which one was that? Because I don't even know which one it was.
So the first one was Milton Mango.
Yeah.
So
For those of you who are international as well, Milton Mango is what Queenslanders call Forex.
Forex Gold.
Forex Golds.
Yeah,
And
you
it's
know,
a nostalgic. It's like what's a love brand
Yeah,
that we
it's-
just spoke about? Oh, one of those.
It's because the
fucking
breweries in Milton. That's
Yes.
why.
yeah,
That's exactly
and it's
right,
yellow and it looks like a mango.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, and although we're not drinking Forex tonight, so you know, shout out to our podcast sponsor, Black Ops.
No, it's good beer as well.
It
Yes.
is, and they're local boys.
So with like everyone uses in Brisbane like the term, or a lot of people use the term Milton Mango.
Yeah.
So what happened for you guys to actually, you and Blaze, sitting around talking shit, and then one night go from a slang word or a affectionate name for a brand
Yep.
into turning it into an actual brand?
Yeah, well, I guess like obviously I was working full time at the time for a company. I was there for well over 10 years. I think it was about almost 12 years in the apparel and accessory industry, which is awesome. I learned so much from them. And yeah, I guess, you know, everyone kind of wants a bit of a side hustle, right? So I spent, you know, a bit of time trying to find out what that was. And Blaze, who's now my business partner, we also, you know, went to uni together back in the day. We had another business, a graphic design business straight out of uni, spent way too much time at the pub at lunch. And so that business never really went anywhere. And as a result, I ended up in, you know, the apparel industry rather than just design. And yeah, so it was just, I was just talking to Blaze, like we kept in contact all this time. We're still really, really good mates. And I said to him, look, you know, let's look at doing maybe some drop shipping or something like that. Trying to work out how we can, you know, have a bit of a side hustle that didn't take up our time, that we could just, you know, have a bit of fun with. And we sat down and, you know, we had another idea, another brand, and we spent so much time trying to perfect it, and it just didn't work. It was a flop.
What was it?
It was called Basis, and it was we were focusing on the kite surfing niche.
Okay.
Because it was starting to boom then, and you know I got into kite surfing, I loved it, and I thought, oh, we'll really focus on this niche. Like I really wanted to focus on like small little niches and really, you know, try and grow those. And this one just didn't work, and you know we're trying to drop shipping out of China, and it was just anyway, it didn't work. So and I guess a few weeks later, I was at a Bucks party in Brisbane for my cousin. And all Brizzy boys, and they're all talking about mango this and mango that. I was like, oh yeah. And I spoke to, so then after that I came back and spoke to Blaze. I said, oh mate, I reckon I've got an idea. What do you reckon of this? And he goes, nah, it won't. No, I don't think it'll work, mate. And like, at the time he was living in Perth, so like he didn't grasp the concept of what this was.
Yeah.
So he was living in
Is
Perth.
he from Perth?
No, so he's a Gold Coast boy, and then, you know, moved around, moved to Sydney, moved to Perth and stuff like that. I ended up dragging him back to, you know, the Gold Coast, which he still, you know, hates.
Pussy's good there, man. Speaking of yours,
So, he came back. Just talking to him about this idea. And he goes, oh, well, how are we going to do it? And I was able to find a on-demand printer in Australia that can look after and service that for us online, which is what we needed, because you know the whole idea of what we wanted to do was create a side hustle where we didn't have any stock and didn't have a warehouse and didn't have, you know, all these other things. And we came up with this concept, and I was at work, and I'd finished work and got home, and he'd sent me an email with a lock-up for a logo concept. And I was like, that's pretty cool. And then we locked it in with the on-demand people, and we said, look, you know, this is what we're going to do. And from there, yeah, I guess we launched it one night. So from the concept to launching was very quick.
Yeah.
It was
How many weeks, days?
within a week.
Yeah, wow.
So one thing that I don't know if a lot of people know, but with Shopify, when you sign up for Shopify, you actually have a 14-day grace period. And so in that 14 days, you can launch the site and and sell without having to pay the subscription.
Genius.
And so that's always been our mantra now is we have 14 days to verify it. And if it works within 14 days, then we continue it.
I love that.
Right? So
so good.
It's that whole fail fast motion. Like if you're going to fail really quickly and then move on. And so anyway, we launched this site, and obviously Facebook and Instagram is pretty important when it comes to these small brands, and we threw a few dollars at it on a Thursday, and on a Wednesday, and woke up Thursday morning and all these orders, and I was like, wow, okay.
Wow.
So it was like the first thing that we did, and that rolled on, and that continued to grow, and it was a pretty wild ride. It was pretty fun. So that was our first one.
And how long before it was like a proper business? Because some of those people were just they're boom for 2 weeks and then it's dead.
Well, you got to continue. You got to continue nurturing it, right? Like any business, the more love you give it, the better, the bigger it gets. And I guess we're lucky that we had such a unique clientele that were hungry for it, and they wanted something fresh and something new. So we always had to come up with new concepts and new product. And
so, what was the actual first? So Milton Mango was the brand. So, what was your first product then that you were selling?
Just t-shirts, because we were able to use this print-on-demand people, which helped us get into it and grow. And it was just t-shirts, and
what was the picture? Was it the actual can?
So it was like the logo, but like reworded and changed, and it's
pushing boundaries.
Yeah, I was going to say, how'd you get around copyright and stuff like that? I'm just looking at them now, and
nah, look, it's a grey area, right?
Yeah,
it's a grey area.
Well, it's almost supporting Forex because it's that nostalgia.
Well, yeah, like it's when. Okay, so if you think about it, you think about what Forex is. You think about it, it's an old bloke's beer, right? Like it's an old guy's beer. It's my granddad drinks it, my dad drinks it.
Probably hydrates you more than anything.
Well, yeah, right. It's look, don't knock it. It's a good beer.
Yeah,
supporting it for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, so
sessionable is what I call it.
Sessionable. Exactly. So it is. Yeah, it's an older. It used to be an older demographic, and it had a bit of a hip turn, I guess you could say, here in Brisbane, and people, started calling it something different. Then all of a sudden it became a bit cooler. And so, we've always done that. We've always pushed those, those boundaries to try and, to open it up to that younger market. And, obviously we live in a time now where memes are very important.
Well, nostalgia as well. Like nostalgia is just so in. Like that's why Nintendo went absolutely berserk with all their reinvigorating all those things. Like Nintendo almost broke.
Yeah.
And then what did they release? Was that mini thing?
I think it was the Switch. Was it the Switch or something like that?
No, it was like the Switch? Mini Nintendo. It was the original square box Nintendo console, and they re-released that mini one with, and it had like 100 games on it, and it fucking sold out in like 2 days, and then we're back on. Yeah. And that Pokemon Go. That's right.
Go. Yeah, Pokemon. We were talking about nostalgia. Like, look at basketball cards and like just cards in general. Like they're just having a massive boom at the moment. So that's a whole different.
Yeah, Gary Vee called that one, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he calls everything. He called that one from a long way away. But we just I don't know. Like we just started creating content online with memes and funny stuff, and trying to engage with our customer or our potential customer, and just tried to grow our audience that way. So that was pretty well, how we sort of, kicked on with that and continued coming up with new designs and just had a lot of fun with it. So
and so from how long did that last until it's almost like you got bored and then you had to do something.
Got bored. Yeah.
So how long was that period from like starting that until you're like, you know what? And then you come up with the next concept.
4 weeks.
Get the fuck out of town. Really?
Yeah.
And how many products did you create in those 4 weeks?
I don't know. Like when you're designing products and especially t-shirts, right? You have Photoshop, you have Illustrator, you come up with some concepts and you put it on a mock-up. You don't even have to, have one printed. You put it on a mock-up, put it online, and if it sells, it sells. And by using a print-on-demand service, you don't have to buy stock. So you can have a catalogue of thousands of pieces without having one piece of stock. So you can make yourself look as big as you want or as little as you want, and you don't have to hold any stock. So, over that time, we probably built a catalogue of, maybe 30, 40 like t-shirt designs. And then we started, dabbling in some other products like stubby coolers and bar mats and things like that, which are pretty easy to, knock out. You can design it up and put a picture online and pre-sell it. Like it's easy sort of stuff if you've got the audience there, right?
Correct.
The demographic.
Yeah. Demographic.
I was wondering if all your products that you make, are you the demographic for those things? Would you wear the things that, you...
Well, mate, we're drinking beer.
Yeah.
And he's wearing all these products. He came in a bloody Milton Mango.
But that's how you
sweater.
come up with your ideas, right? Because Luke, beard oil, you got a beard.
Yeah, well, we haven't released our beard oil yet, but stay
take
tuned.
it
Look, I guess a lot of people ask me, like, they come in and they see me, or people that see me quite often, they're like, I never see you wearing any of your products, and like it's probably a fluke that
I'm wearing blanks, motherfucker.
Yeah, well, like call me Steve Jobs, whatever. But no, like I just wear blanks, because I've got too many brands to rep all of them. So it's
you don't get high in your own supply.
That's right. That's right.
That's all I get, man. These things are fucking. I literally just wear these, and if I go out, I'll wear something else. But
yeah,
bit of chap.
Oh, look,
it's free advertising.
I still wear blanks when I go out. Just I'm most comfortable in just a blank t-shirt and a blank hoodie.
Jeans.
Like I don't care. If you look at my wardrobe, it's just like navy, maroon.
All the samples, all the samples they send you from all the different suppliers.
Yeah.
Like, yep, that's comfy. Not
well, yes and no. Like all my samples come in like medium and large.
And
I'm not
for those of you listening, so Adam's nickname is the Bear, and it's because he's a fucking huge man.
Gentle giant,
Yeah,
I like to call it.
Who also has a beard and uses our products as well. So,
oh look, I'm a massive fan of bearded chap stuff. So
thank you.
We appreciate always have been. So yeah.
Had you started using our products before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So
You're like Sam. I met you, and then you're like, I already use your products. And it's just like amazing.
Yeah. So my partner at the time, she bought me a bottle for Christmas, and it was awesome. I loved it. And then obviously, one of your employees who I used to work with, he started working here, and he came around one day and showed me the product. So, I've got some of that. So, but yeah, I'm a massive fan of the product, and like the deodorant's awesome. The beard oil, the wax, a whole lot. It's all
Anyway, enough about us. Let's get back to you.
Yeah.
So, Milton Mango.
Yep.
What was next?
4 weeks later.
4 weeks later.
4 weeks later.
That's a ridiculous turnaround time, by the way.
Yeah.
Because most people would just get comfortable and be like, let's just milk this for as long as we can.
Or at least see where it goes for longer than 4 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's true. But, like Blaze and I aren't really normal people either. So, yeah. 4 weeks later, we Blaze called me one night. I was out to dinner. And I said, mate, I can't talk. Or, can we hook up tomorrow? He goes, yeah, I've got another idea. I'm like, cool. And then the next day, I checked my email and looked at the concepts that he'd done. And the brand was See You in the NT. And
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So, very controversial, obviously.
Yes. And again, for those outside Australia who are listening and viewing, so see you in the NT was almost it made worldwide news. Like you were on CBN.
Oh, look, it's I think it was New York Times and a few. Like, it's been in nearly every publication around the world, which is
ridiculous,
which is crazy. It was freaky, right? Really freaky. Like we're just a couple of blokes sort of knocking up some ideas. But
because the brand itself, obviously, CNNT stands for cunt. But
no, that's not true.
Sorry,
no. What we're trying to do,
it's an acronym.
It's an invitation. It's an invitation to the greatest territory in the world, mate. That's what it is.
Fuck yes. And I have nothing. This is brilliant.
You're trying to dance around it.
No. It for me when I saw that, because I did not know you for like 3 or 4. How old is the brand now?
4 years.
4 years.
Well, in November, during the US election, it will be 4 years.
So I remember, because it went global around that time. And that timing was phenomenal.
Thankfully, because of Donald Trump, the heat cooled off us, and because he got in and took over all the media, and we sort of went to the wayside, which is a good thing.
Oh mate, but you literally Blaze and you came up with that concept. The way it was presented around the world, it was literally they were blowing up saying that the government had made a mistake and an advertising campaign. And
I legitimately thought that was from Northern Territory.
Yeah, I actually did as well.
A lot of people did.
I actually did as well.
So we it's
it's like the greatest prank in history, but it's like actually amazing because of the it made the Northern Territory. Apart from Crocodile Dundee, it's probably the biggest thing to ever happen to Northern Territory.
Have you looked at tourism numbers since?
Well, look, there'll be a lot of people that say otherwise, but there have been a couple of actual reports that have come out and said that it has not had a negative impact, so which is good. But I think so we definitely not negative.
It is. There's nothing but positivity. Wow. Even the way that the Australia-ism attached to it is all positive. Like
we obviously we launched under the brand NT Official. So that was what it was, NT Official.
The marketing genius is right here.
And the the clothing was See You in the NT.
Is that another great area?
Actually,
that
bring over that the growler, and
fridge.
some beer glasses, Haydos as well. We'll start drinking.
Grey,
it's in the fridge.
Grey area, thanks, do you say? Yeah. Look, that was a bit of a grey area. We got in a bit of trouble for that. But
what happened?
Well, look, some people thought it was too official. So, rolling out a campaign that looks very, very official and calling it NT Official.
It's just marketing. The Federal Reserve is not part of the government.
Well, exactly.
It's a company.
So NT Official.
Amazing, thank you, sir. So NT Official rolled out.
Yeah.
Wait, let's just go back, rewind a bit. So you had the concept.
Yeah.
You both obviously went, this is absolutely amazing. Let's do this.
Yeah, look.
And then how long before you launched it?
Yeah, look, I wasn't sure whether the concept would work, but I knew that it would create some publicity, right? So Blaze came up with the concept, he sent through the ideas, and that day on a Saturday, I just designed up a whole heap of designs, and he worked on the website and a few other things, and we launched that night.
Well, that's just ridiculous. And so, from when you launched, how it went online, you would have put some content online.
Yeah.
So what made it go viral though?
Well,
Like, what was the piece of content that went viral? Because next minute,
it wasn't so much a piece of content. It was the way it was reported. So it wasn't. It was picked up and said that it was an official, and they picked it up and said it was a official tourism campaign.
yeah, because that's what, like Hayden said. I thought it was
Yeah,
actually the Northern Territory's
yeah.
slogan.
So
And we thought it was, I literally thought it was the best slogan that a state could ever do for them. And I was like, Northern Territory is just going to be flooded with tourism now.
yeah, so
Yeah. And by the way, I know it's pretty touchy because of it. So I'll let you take over because you can tell us what you need to.
I've never. As I told you before, I've never told the story. So
Thank you so much for sharing as well.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Blaze can be here tonight. I know he's really keen to, but he couldn't be here tonight. He's like, "How did they get the first glimpse into what we do?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know." He asked, so
I'm very appreciative of it.
Sometimes all it takes.
yes, that's right.
Well, it's the sales, mate.
Just got to ask the question.
Got to ask.
Yeah, you never know unless you ask. So,
Never know unless you go. Was the
you never know unless you never go, right?
Is that Smash Mouth?
No,
that was their. Oh, so that was
the territory campaign.
That was the
back.
territory campaign for like since Crocodile Dundee, pretty much.
Yeah, for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know if you never go. So,
yeah. And then
nice little
see you in the NT.
Let's just blow it up. Yeah. So yeah, no. It was, look, yeah. I don't know what to say. Because Blaze and I, we're designers, right? So our trade is design. We can work quickly, and we know what we're after, and we were clear on, okay, that's your role, that's my role, and let's do this, and we can, launch a brand within 24 hours. And when you don't have any issues with supply chain, where you're trying to buy stock and plan out months and months ahead, and this is the whole reason why I got into this business now, is because we can do anything on the fly. If something is topical right now, you can come up with a concept and you can launch it that day and be selling product that same day and be delivering it to customers the next.
Amazing.
So, and that's a beautiful thing, right? Like you can just move super quick, and there's a lot of old school style apparel businesses that are out there that can't move quick because they have set production times and all this sort of stuff, which part of my
I used to work for Ralph Lauren, and you had to buy their summer release
the summer before.
Yeah. And
Trends
some of the stuff was shit.
Trends change, right? So, So it was a day, and we launched it on the Saturday, and that night I went out and went to a birthday party and had a bit of a chuckle with a few mates down the footy club about what I got up to on my Saturday, and then all of a sudden my phone started going bipping. I'm like, ooh, it's verified. 14 days.
Yeah,
verified
in 2 hours.
So yeah, and I think it was on the Monday or Sunday or Monday got picked up by the Mumbrella over in New Zealand.
Okay.
And they picked it up first, and they said it was a legit,
They started the rumor.
Right? Chinese whispers, they started it.
Wow.
And from there, it just sort of went nuts. And then every, online publication started running stuff. And, it's pretty crazy.
So from that first rumor in New Zealand to where it was literally the ad that you guys made was played on mainstream American television, how long was that?
Well, probably three days, I'd say.
Fuck. What were you thinking?
Oh, well, mate, you don't know.
No. What were you? No. So I said that in the wrong tonality. What were you thinking? What were you thinking
What
when
was going through my mind?
Yeah, what was going through your mind when you saw that it was on mainstream American, like 360 million people potentially could see this in America, and they're reporting it as a real campaign in Australia,
and they're not a fan of it. Like it's
Just goes to show how gullible Americans are.
wow. Look, but
there's a lot of smart Americans as well, mate.
Yeah, but it wasn't just in America, right? It's it got reported everywhere, right? Wow. Everywhere. So,
have you saved that
territory?
Have you saved that footage like from Italy? It's like blah 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 blah.
Oh yeah, look,
see you in the NT, and you're like,
you just have to type it in, and then all the articles come up. Like it's everywhere. Hayden's going for a search now.
Yeah. So and all this happened. What happened to you? Like your phone started getting smashed. Media started going nuts.
Yeah, like we were getting hounded by media for comment and all that sort of stuff, and we set up a.
But how that?
Just through the website.
Yeah.
And they set up
Imagine the poor government.
Oh.
Some probably a little assistance in there getting smacked.
On July 17th, the Northern
Here we go.
Oh,
Territory's laying down the welcome mat to our interstate.
No.
That's a new one that we released recently.
Yeah, cool.
That's a different story.
Yeah. But
on July 17th,
nah, don't play it. We might get kicked off YouTube. No, you wait because you're getting us permission.
Yeah.
So that all blows up.
Yeah.
What did you and Blaze do? Because you're like this tiny little business. You kickstarted something 4 weeks before.
Yeah.
The two of you, print on demand.
And I'm working full time.
And you're working full time.
Yeah.
Blaze working full time as well.
So no, Blaze wasn't. Like he was doing a lot of
at the pub?
Soft at the pub.
He's still there.
He's still there. Yeah. No, he was doing some software development stuff, and so he was working. He was in Perth at the time, so his partner was.
So he was still over in Perth.
He was still in Perth, right?
Man.
So and he was for a long time, and so he was over in Perth, and then so he was handling the customer support and inquiries and stuff like that. So he'd be handling that during the day, which is awesome because I couldn't because I was at work. And then, then I'd come home at night and sort of jump in and help him because, you're getting hundreds of emails, when you've got that much exposure.
What about?
Just everything, like a lot of abuse, right? A lot of abuse.
Really?
Oh, just.
Are they old people giving the abuse or?
I don't know. Karens, lots of Barrys out there. I don't know. It's just, a lot of people just didn't like it. So you've got this huge polarizing opinion of what it is.
But it's always the whingers who actually put it in writing because I fucking loved it. I thought it was like, I just remember seeing it and I went, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
It made me want to go to the Northern Territory.
Yeah. Well, and we have had the amount of emails and messages we've had from people that have said, if it wasn't for you guys, we would not have decided to go to the Northern Territory. So we've had a lot of positive stuff, but in those early days, like when you launch something that just goes so nuts like it did, we weren't ready for the heat that was going to come to us, right? So we ended up having to, it just got so much, and I think it was into the Tuesday or into the Wednesday, and I think it was when.
So this is 4 days.
Yeah, 4 days, man. So it was a roller coaster. Like, I couldn't sleep, and it was nuts. And it was just coming into. I think there was one day that it was just so hectic that I pretty much like melted. Like I was
panic attack.
Yeah. And had anxiety, and it's like one of the only times I've ever had it. It was just so much, and I called in sick for work, and all I did was just sit on the couch, and like I was
didn't
just
know
like,
what to do.
Yeah, I was a vegetable.
Let it wash over you.
Yeah, it was just so much happening.
Well,
and
you'd never done anything like that before.
No, and
you didn't have anyone to turn to talk about it either, apart from Blaze.
Yeah, that's right. And so like we're talking about things, and then we're talking to lawyers and stuff like that, and and it was full on. And then getting hounded by media and stuff like that, plus all the hate coming through. It was a lot. It was full on.
It's good to delete that shit. Block.
Yeah, and then old D Trump got voted in the next day, and the tide changed, and the media changed. They saw another shiny object somewhere else, so they left us alone.
Wow.
And that's pretty much how that sort of rolled out. And then after that, we just sort of went on our journey, and we've had a few little speed bumps along the way, but at the end of the day, all we're doing, we're selling some merch, but at the end of the day, we're trying to shine a light on the Territory. Territory's an amazing place. It is adventure capital for Australia. It is awesome. So,
and that's one of the things. Like, I wanted to have you on here to talk about this because CNNT, it's cheeky, tongue in cheek, Australia. Like, it's in America, cunt is the worst word you could ever say.
Yeah.
In Australia, we use it like an adjective. Like, it is ridiculous.
Oh, look, if I call my mate a mate, he'll get upset. But if I call him a cunt, he'll be happy.
Yeah.
Right? It's
massive.
It's also a noun, not an adjective.
Sorry for anyone listening.
Oh, now, sorry. But like literally,
But like, we've never said that word. It is a abbreviation.
Correct.
To the greatest territory in the world, and it's an invitation.
It's perfect.
And that's.
But your intention for it is absolutely amazing, and I think that's why it went viral, because it has that Australian larrikinism that is in all of us.
Yeah.
Pretty much tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
And we have a bit of a laugh.
Absolutely.
Because it's I'll see you in the NT.
Yeah.
And that is what let's go have beers.
Yeah.
Let's go see Crocs. Let's blah blah.
Absolutely.
It's Darwin Stubby replica.
It's not a Darwin Stubby.
Well,
it is
not a
similar.
Darwin Stubby.
Yeah. We're not allowed to use a Darwin Stubby, unfortunately.
It's a see you in the NT Stubby.
Well, yeah, and so these are we launched these this week. They're at the brewed. So these are only available in Darwin at 1 Mile Brewing. So we're not even going to put them online.
So you've partnered up with a local brewery.
A local brewery.
Oh,
and we love what they do, and they love what we do, and so it's a really good partnership, backwards and forwards. Yeah, it's really good. Really, really great guys. And we said to them, look, let's try and do something, and we came up with this concept. And so 1 Mile Brewing, down in Darwin.
Shout out to 1 Mile Brewing.
Yeah. So no, they're awesome guys. So we released that this week. Limited numbers up there, and it's only available at the Tap House. So
perfect.
Yeah.
So. The thing I love about it is, though, you had this brand, which is cool, but then you actually roll with it with good intention. And so, like, you've obviously been up there a shit ton.
Yeah.
And you bought the Land Cruisers so you can pretty much go up there and roll old school, like,
Big
Dundee style.
That was part of the reason why we bought the old Troopy, just to take it up there and use it as a bit of a marketing piece, but have a lot of fun. So, like, Blaze was born in Darwin. His parents lived up there for so long. Well, they've still got property up there. My sister was born in Darwin. I lived there when I was a kid. So, we have a lot of ties to, the Territory also. But it is such an amazing place. Like, the weather,
stunning.
like in winter time, the weather is off tap.
It's summer.
Good. It's 30 degrees. Yeah. Not
humid. They get
though.
Out of there in summer because it's not even summer and winter. It's wet and dry season.
Wet and dry, right?
Yeah.
So up there in winter time, it is amazing. Like, you go around all the national parks, all the waterfalls and all that sort of stuff. It's such an amazing place to visit, and the people are amazing. It is definitely something that everyone needs to experience once in their life, because once they do it, they're just like, wow, that was such a good holiday.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
Yeah. But summer is storms everywhere.
Yeah, wet season, man.
Yeah,
so every afternoon at 3:00, it's like, bang, here's a storm.
When I was up there, we trained one of our big retailers out there, Tommy Guns, and literally I was speaking with the Uber drivers, and they're like, man, we're almost time to get out of here. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, it's wet season. Everyone leaves.
Yep.
And they're like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Have you done Kakadu and all those?
Yeah. It's amazing.
Really want
right?
to get up there and
it's
go
amazing.
hunting.
Yeah. Hunting. Yeah, right. Yeah.
I want to
I say Adam Greentree, like, he's done heaps of hunts and that there and all that sort of stuff.
I'm pretty sure he has access to some phenomenal land up there. And
Matt Wright and all those guys.
Yeah. It is beautiful.
Yeah, it's
land.
amazing.
And I know
this is a very, very full growler.
Oh my God, it's to the brim.
It's to the brim, man. It's to the brim.
You should just have a sip out of the top.
There we go. Didn't even spill it.
Pro. like a Northern Territorian, like a Territorian. Is that what it is?
Territorian.
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 Territorian. Dude, so that happened, and then what was next? Like, this obviously was a bit more than 4 weeks.
Which part?
See you in the NT.
What do you mean?
Like that brand, because you Milton Mango was 4 weeks,
Yeah.
and then you're like, yeah, meh.
Yeah.
Then this happened with See in the NT. Cheers,
Yeah.
by the way.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks for
Thank
coming
you.
down.
Thank you, Hud.
Ching. Oh yeah, you want one? Do you
You
want a
want
drink?
Come over here, mate.
Catch that.
Throw that around. So See you in the NT happened. A couple days later,
Yeah. So
that the fucking circus went through the world, and
Yep.
then Trump happened.
Yep.
Second circus.
Yep. Oh, get that off camera.
Nice.
That was terrible, mate. Never worked at a bar.
Pour it over there, bro. Not beside the equipment though.
Yeah. So so obviously that brand, and then we started sort of working on some other ideas. It was a couple months later. Obviously that one there took up a lot of our time, a lot of support stuff that we had to work through.
So from a business perspective, what the fuck happened? Because you went like,
Well,
you had a website,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, we've gone from having a double as a side hustle to having to call an accountant and say, hey, by the way, can you help us? So
How many units were you moving?
Uh,
Or was it mainly just the media?
Look, we moved a lot of units.
Yeah.
We did.
So were sales going as well as the media, or was it just massive media, decent amount of sale, like decent amount of units going out the door?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of units. A lot of people got behind it, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And a lot of support there. So we were able to use that to sort of bankroll into other ideas and concepts and new stock. The brand is not just t-shirts now.
Mate, I have been at Lights, bumper stickers, bloody spare tire carriers, mud flaps,
Yeah.
stubby coolers.
Yeah.
Like I've seen everything.
Yeah. We did a teaspoon, right?
Collectible teaspoon,
Collectible teaspoon.
amazing.
Like it's
They're
weird.
tourist things.
It's weird. Yeah, it's a weird. Like we just sat down and was like, well, what do you go and get when you go on holiday? And you think, oh, my grandma used to have a spoon collection. So
my grandma did as well.
Yeah.
Like
right?
all
And-
over the world.
and like on the wall,
And have a
there's-
special teaspoon rack.
Yes, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So I was like, well, how about we do our own territory one? And so we did that, and it's just like, on the back of the packaging is like, we've all had a grandma that's collected spoons,
Oh, mate,
and if she, if she's not, if she's not that sweet, use this to give her a spoonful of sugar to sweeten her up, and just like joking larrikin sort of stuff.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and so everything from mud flaps to stickers to
Amazing.
to fishing lures. We've done a fishing lure too, right? So
What did it have it on there?
yeah. It's just, but
There's a
you just think about what you want, and then you just have a crack at it.
there's a lure manufacturer. Speaking of lures, just
Yeah.
a little bit off topic.
Yeah.
There's a lure manufacturer in Australia. He makes these custom lures. Who's the
He didn't make the whole chook, did he?
Yeah. What's his name?
Willem
Willem
Powerfish.
Willem Powerfish. No. So he didn't make those lures. There was another guy
Yeah, he made it for
Willem.
Yeah.
Powerfish.
He's that's his stage name, if you want to call it.
Yeah.
He honestly
Alias.
has done some pretty amazing stuff. To be
3
able
meter
to
flatty, bro.
3 minute flatty. World record holder for a 3 minute flatty. Like that's pretty impressive, right?
Oh, is that boat ram sessions?
Yeah. And jetty sessions.
Jetty
and,
sessions. Jetty
you know,
sessions.
He jackknifes the boat.
Yeah,
Hauls
yeah,
onto it. That's
yeah,
not good.
Yeah.
Because he used to be a Actually, I'd love to have Willem on
Mate,
on here.
honestly,
Dude, he's a cracker.
He'd be next level. But
Oh my god! Because he was originally a surf photographer.
he was. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And he had his alter ego, and his mates apparently G'd him up. I don't have no idea if this is true or not. I'm just talking shit.
Yeah. I don't know.
He's
I don't know.
G'd
The
him
full
up
story, but
to do it, and then
Yeah.
he just came out one day and
Yeah, look, he honestly, like
Not a man to hate a man,
he's
bro.
got a massive, not a man to hate a man. He's got a massive sort of following now, but he's been able to do it in a way which is pretty amazing. But he also does some amazing things, like he shines light on depression and mental
Correct.
health,
Yep.
which is amazing. He does a lot of giveaways and all that sort of stuff. He actually does a lot of good things.
Oh,
With his following, and there's a lot of people, influencers, I would say, that have these massive followings that don't actually do good things or don't use their power for good. But he actually, he does a lot of good. So
he's just a bloke.
mate,
Blokes on blokes.
he just a powerfish brothel, right?
Number one, he's hilarious.
He's funny.
Have you met him?
No, so I think I'm meeting him soon actually, but I think I'm doing some merch for him.
Oh, awesome.
So, but he's apparently absolutely an amazing guy. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing about Australia is, right, because we are one of the hardest places in the world to start a company. Like literally, statistically wise, we were talking tonight, 6,000 businesses a month collapse.
It's pretty full on, right?
Just on average, not during COVID. This is just regular. And if you're around for 5, 10, 15 years, you've got a fucking awesome business. And if you can prove it in Australia as a business model, and you're running through scaling up at the moment, and the stats in that book are like if you're proving it in Australia, you can literally roll out through the world, because our market, Australians don't take bullshit.
Yeah, and
we're picky,
and it is a small market. It's a very small market, right?
Yep.
So it's 24.5 million or whatever it is now.
It's jobs.
Compared
a lot of
to
fucking people died.
when
Coronavirus. I thought it was 26.
Well, maybe it is 26. Sorry, I haven't looked at that stat lately.
2 million people didn't die.
I thought it was 26 mil. Look it up.
I think it's like 20.
Get Hayden to look it up.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Jack on the Hamish and Andy podcast would have already had those stats by now, mate. Come on. But yeah, so we are so small, right?
Yeah. I haven't listened to that. Is that a good podcast?
It's a good podcast. Yeah, it's a good podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good podcast, man.
Let's listen
So it's really good.
24.99 million.
Mate, on it.
Sorry, mate. It would have been 25, Corona.
I don't know.
Shouldn't laugh about that. Though.
No, it's not. It's not laugh worthy.
Well, yeah. Anyway, we'll
But
move on.
anyway, move right along.
Yeah.
Especially for Victorians.
Oh yeah, I feel for those guys at the moment. It's pretty tough down there.
They are the most locked down place in the entire world.
Yeah. It's
That's all we'll say.
Yeah, it's we've had discussions about that. It's pretty tough down there.
Yeah.
It's 'cause
Yeah,
they're
my
so
best
precious.
but my best mate's just moved down there, and he's gone down with a 1-year-old, and it's hard.
I've got friends who left, jumped in a car and drove up to Queensland when they had the break, did their quarantine, 14 days in-house, and they went, I am so fucking glad I did it.
I've got some friends that came up here for a birthday.
went back.
In the end of March, probably
Start of March.
and they came up here with like small little bag
Duffel bag.
for a weekend,
Yeah.
and they still haven't gone back.
Well, they win.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they've been in Queensland for the whole of winter, so they're laughing.
Are they unemployed? Or
No, they work, but
With two sets of trousers.
yeah. But the good thing about with what's happened with COVID, if there's anything we can take away from this, is
Good
the
beer,
fact
by the
that
way.
it's not too bad at home. Yeah. Well, Black Hops.
Sorry. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Black Hops, for sponsoring the podcast today.
Unofficial sponsors.
Unofficial sponsors. But yeah, the good thing about with what's happened with COVID is it's given businesses an insight into being able to work remotely. So there's
Changed
costs.
the game.
It's changed the game. There's things that you can do to save costs as a business. Work from home. People are getting used to that now. I'm not sure how we ended up on a COVID sort of rant, but anyway.
Yeah. This is the whole thing, man. It's a free flowing conversation. So one of my friends works for a big footwear apparel company.
Mm.
They did not renew their lease.
Mm.
All their reps, they don't need it.
Yep.
And now they're making massive savings in the business. They can put into actual product development, and they're finding that the guys who are on the road are far more engaged now.
Yeah.
Because then,
yeah.
So and depends on the business as well.
Yeah, of course. Some businesses have struggled, and look at hospo and a lot of the travel industry and all that sort of stuff.
Tourism,
like that's tough. That's really tough, and they've done it the hardest. But outside of that, though, there's a lot of businesses that have done really well. So you got to take the good with the bad, I guess. Travel and tourism and hospo will bounce back. It'll be tough and it'll be long.
Domestic tourism, though, has gone through the roof when you can cross the border.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, my old man's in Perth. They've got 0 cases.
Lockdown.
It's in total lockdown. He calls me, goes, look, Adam, it's not even like there's crony. Like, there's nothing. Like, there's no social distancing. There's no nothing. Everyone's just doing what they want to do. And
we're fucked when the international borders open up.
They had a $50,000 fine for getting caught out there though. In Queensland, it was like $1,600. But
yeah. So
what was it? $50,000.
I think someone bailed on their their ISO, so he came back into WA, and then the next day went to the pub.
$50,000.
And
you know what? That's going to keep people in their houses, though.
Absolutely.
I feel like it was something really high like that.
It should be.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, when the international borders open up, we're fucked. We're a little island in the middle of the world. Yeah. Every other place, like America, Europe, they're all like Sweden's hustling now, man. Everyone, they're killing it.
But surely there's going to be like little bubbles, right, that we can go to. Like obviously New Zealand, being our closest little cousin, they've got no cases now, I don't believe. So surely we can go if we get to a stage where everything's under control in Australia, we can go to New Zealand and that should be fine, right?
But what happens when a European wants to come over, or an American, or South American?
Well,
you just don't let them in.
It's when we look at what we're doing in terms
have
of
to catch boats everywhere. So that 14
14
days,
right? But look at it depends on whether or not we get a vaccine. And if we have a vaccine, then that's going to change the game. And then we'll get back to a lot more normality. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen in the next 12 months. So
who knows?
Anyway, enough about COVID.
Who the fuck thought we would not be able to travel out of our state, let alone internationally?
2020, man.
2020 has been an incredible year.
Oh, it's amazing. Amazing year. It's ridiculous. It has really changed a lot of people's views on how they do things. So
the world. So you did that. What was next?
That's a good question. So I think we launched another. We went back to beer. So we did mangoes, and then we did NT. And then a few months later, we went back to beer and had a crack at a WA favourite. So Emu Export, right?
Awesome.
So we launched Bush Chook. Everyone calls them Bush Chooks over there, right? So and my dad being over there and all that sort of stuff, and so we decided to launch Bush Chook, and that was something a bit different.
Amazing.
And that was a bit of fun. Again, it's a similar model as to what
just slang, Australian slang.
Yeah, and you just capture the market with your content and stuff like that, your memes, and I tell people that I make memes for a living and they don't get it. And they're like, well, how do you make money off memes? And it's like, well, it's about building an audience, and then you can market to the audience. You're Apparel. It's a weird concept, right? 2020. Well, no, not even 2020. Awesome. It was earlier than that. But,
yeah, exactly.
And then
were you guys one of the first people in that space with memes? Because memes are viral. Like in America, literally something happens that day and there's something in the afternoon.
Yeah. Oh, look, and look, we jumped on the wave. We didn't miss the wave. We jumped on it, but we weren't the first by any means. So there's a lot of other people doing it, but we just use it for our business model. And obviously the NT one, it wasn't like. So if you look at our socials on NT, everything on there is user generated content. So it's all from people that have tagged the page, and it's all real experiences. It's not paid.
I was about to ask you. You must have some of the most hilarious, like amazing customer content that gets generated.
Oh, look,
Because-
absolutely. But not even not even customers. Like it's people that are just in the NT and experiencing it and having an amazing time, and they take a photo and they tag us, and then we go and ask them and say, hey, love your photo. Do you mind if we use this in a marketing? And like 99.9% of the time, they're like, yes, sweet, all good.
I've seen your Instagram is on it as well.
It's amazing, right?
Those shots are incredible. It's such a beautiful part of Australia.
Well, it's hard to take a bad shot in the NT, right? The NT is pretty amazing. So yeah, we're very lucky that a lot of people get behind it and tag us, and we're able to use all that. So like we don't have any influencers or anything like that. It is all just user generated content.
'Cause your brand is so fucking good.
Real,
you are the influencer,
but it is real, right? It is real. It's not paying someone to go out there and take all these photos and be fake or anything like that. It's all real people taking real shots, and that's the way we've driven that brand. And I think it works really well, and it resonates with those people.
It's so unique. It's so real.
It's real.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it's real.
It's so real.
It's real.
It's so Australia.
Very Aussie.
So exactly.
Yeah. So
Amazing.
and that's what we've tried to do. So,
But what was that content you were doing the other day at your place? I don't know if you can talk about that. Now that I mention it,
which
I've
content
forgotten. My
the green screen.
Yeah. So we've got a guy who his name's Duffy. He's the Wild Man, right? Wild Man. He is.
I remember.
Yeah. He's crazy, right? Like he has jumped on board, and we backed him, and we told him absolute larrikin, right? He is just what you would imagine the NT is, right? Loves chasing snakes and bloody, it just crocs and all this sort of stuff. But we got a hold of him in the NT, and we sent him some gear, and he's kind of been like a bit of an ambassador for us, and he does some pretty awesome content. But he had a TV show, a series on Discovery. So doing all all these animal things, and he and another guy would go out and see all these animals and that around the world, and it got picked up by Discovery and that. So
what a win!
So he's like Steve Irwin-esque,
kind of, yeah, right.
Everyone, the fact we're saying Steve Irwin-esque is like how big.
It's like Steve's got some pretty big shoes, right?
Yeah.
It'd be hard to sort of come close to what he is or what he was, unfortunately.
His son is a spitting image, though.
Oh, absolutely, right?
Gosh.
Absolutely. But yeah, so Wildman's good. But like he does some pretty cool content for us, and we help him out with some stuff. But yeah, essentially, nearly all of our content is user generated content, which is
it's rare.
It's something that we pride ourselves on, because it is the people talking for other people. It's just pushing that message even more about how amazing the territory is, just through their images. And it tells its own story. So all we're doing is passing the message on. So that's how we continue to do that. So but we've got a really good team to be able to help do that. It's not all a one-man show or a two-man show anymore. No, not
anymore.
So we needed to get some people on board to help with that. So which we have, and which is really good.
Amazing. Yeah. So CNT. What was the other one? What was the other brand next?
Bush Chooks.
Bush Chooks.
Yeah.
Then what was next?
A couple of years ago, Australia announced that they're going to be launching a space agency in Australia.
That's right.
Putting funding towards a space agency. So funding towards a space agency.
There's a rocket that was launched in South Australia not recently.
I think it was a false start, wasn't it?
It was one day, and then the next day they launched it. Yeah. Anyhow.
So, but space has become a very big thing here in Australia in the last couple of years, since we've had that influx of cash to be able to do that. And there's people like Gilmore Space down in down the coast, and they're doing some amazing things. And there's lots of businesses in that area that are popping up. So Blaze called me. He goes, "Mate, have you heard the news?" I said, "No." He goes, "Oh, Australia's just announced that they're putting funding towards a space agency." I'm like, "That's cool." He goes, "Do you remember when we were talking about how cool it would be to have our own space agency?" I'm like, "Yeah, I remember that." might have been a few pints deep, but
It's a typical conversation. Though,
yeah,
isn't it?
right. Everyone's had that conversation with their mate. How good's our own
Space Force.
So, like we're not Elon Musk or anything like that.
No,
Don't
That's
get
a
me
rabbit
wrong.
hole, that is.
Yeah. But so anyway, so that night, we jumped on a Skype call and came up with some concepts and some acronyms, and came up with the Australian Research and Space Exploration, and which spells out arse. So we launched our own space agency, and
That's amazing.
and again that went pretty viral.
Oh my God. I didn't even hear about this one though. When you showed me it, I was like,
I saw it the other day as well. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
but how long you had that one for?
A few years now.
Yeah. I didn't even remember that hitting the news.
Yeah, that
So-
one hit the news.
Wow.
Yeah,
And so where's your space station, man?
which, mate, it's all over Australia, right? Anyone that supports us. But yeah, no, like it is a lot of fun, that brand. There's
I
so
just saw
many
your
puns.
ass face masks.
Yes, we got face masks. So for everyone that wants to get a little bit of ass to mouth.
That is.
How did I not think of that?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is brilliant.
Yeah. So
Woo!
we had some amazing followers. So like on.
Did you come up with that?
our-
Did you
our-
come up with that?
Yeah. That was us. So that's
Oh my God.
that that brand actually has some unbelievable followers. So we've got this really unique group of people that love space, and they've all got the telescopes and they take photos of stuff. And,
Yeah.
and we've actually got a private group
Yeah.
on Facebook, and it is full of just people that
Space geeks.
space geeks. They just love it, right? And this is a niche that we've sort of tapped into.
Well, that's what's unique about your business. Like you have all these cool Australiana old school brands, but each of those brands represent like this tiny little niche of people
It's a little niche, right?
who associate with it.
Yeah. No, we don't go out to try and create a brand that's going to be like Nike or
No.
Adidas or anything like that. We find cool, fun stuff in like small little niches, and just
I can't
we
get
just
out of my
feed-
head a straw that has ass on it, and then a pack of straws. Get your ass to mouth every day.
We've that brand. We have a lot of fun with that. So
That is awesome.
yeah. So if you
And well received, obviously.
it's well received. So
Fucking hell, dude.
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It is hilarious.
Yeah. It's the group.
Have you got any have you got like a crew over in the US from NASA who were like, yeah,
Oh, the amount of people that take photos of them wearing our merch when they go to NASA,
oh,
it's pretty amazing. Right? So you've got
that is epic.
So that's pretty cool.
If you got that mask on Elon Musk, I reckon you could just tick life off, to be honest.
Go have a look through our socials.
No way.
Yeah.
That's Photoshop.
Yeah.
It's like fuck SpaceX.
Yeah. It's Photoshop.
Or us are launching our SpaceX rocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the actual real Australian one called? It never happened.
Oh,
You guys launched
Space
it.
Australia.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
It's boring.
Guess what our domain name is?
Space Australia.
.com.au.
Oh, damn. Government missing out. There's a .gov.au, isn't it?
No, .com.
Oh, wow.
You just got AU and
Yeah. But like, wouldn't you think if you're searching for
An Australian.
Australian to AU. Yeah. But they want to
Rookies.
be international with .com, don't they?
Won't say anything about people who bought that one.
Oh, look, it's
Rookie
we
error.
were lucky. We moved fast.
Dude, that's it.
And it's all about moving fast. And again, that was one that we launched within 24 hours. So the news came out one day. The next day we had our own space agency, and we made it look really legit, like too legit, to the point where people
Too legit to quit.
to the point where people still actually ask, is this satire or is it actually real?
Yeah.
And with that brand, we actually push a hell of a lot of real news. Like it's 90% real,
Really?
but there's a fun aspect to it, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's why we have the group, and we share lots of content, and people share their photos and that of their own stuff that they're doing, and it's a really, really awesome community, and that's what we're trying to build with that brand is build a community, Yes, yeah, we sell some merch and we have a bit of fun with it. It's tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
It's very sort of Aussie, but we're building a community that's passionate about space, and they're sharing like-minded information and stuff. It's really, really awesome. It's really engaging.
Do you find that across all your brands? So like, us, you've got all your space community. You've got Northern Territory, a lot of tourism, wildlife, like beautiful land shots, etc. Beer, and then you've got the beer companies, where they've got cult followings, and there's like
absolutely So all the beer ones, they've all got their own cult following. So you're passionate about Jeeps, so you're going to follow a Jeep group, or you're going to follow Jeep centric sort of stuff. That's your niche, and that's what you're passionate about. I love Land Cruisers, and you look at my phone, go through my group listing, I've got about 15 bloody groups about Land Cruisers, but that's just what I'm passionate about. So, and I guess as we've rolled things out and brand after brand after brand, it's all about finding a niche that someone's like really, really passionate about, and giving them something that they not necessarily knew they wanted, but if it was there, they'd take it. And that's what we've done.
And made it fun.
And had fun along the way. Because if you're not having fun, what are you doing?
You only live once.
Have you branded anything for Land Cruisers?
No.
See you in the NT.
Well,
stickers.
Yeah. Wait till you see the troopy.
It's brilliant. Oh no, we've seen it when we were down there.
Yeah, it was parked down here.
No.
That's a different one.
That's the Ute.
That's
the Troopy's
the
the full enclosed.
Yeah,
one.
no. And there's like bench seats on the other side.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's the one I took you
I've
down
seen
there.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I can't wait to get that done. Like it's been a long mission, that one. But
Well, that's the one that inspired me.
yeah, everyone that comes in there and sees it, they're just like, oh my god. I was just like,
Well, it's just painted and rolling stock when I saw it.
well,
I was like, oh my god, I need to get it off.
So it's all Well, it was probably in pieces when you saw it the first time.
I think you just had it painted. It was at the back of your little factory.
Oh, the old factory?
Yeah. It's funny. We'll speak about that because in regards to the business growing, when I was growing the Bearded Chap, we started off in the front room of my house I lived in Paddington.
Yeah.
And then outgrew that, moved it into my parents' garage, and like setting up cosmetic collabs the whole entire way along.
Yeah.
And then moved that into a level 55 apartment that I lived in.
Level 55.
Level 55 in the
that's some high supply, that is.
in Brisbane CBD, brand new one. I had 5 staff at the time, so I moved in and I lived.
You had 5 staff going to level 55
5.
unit.
It was like 550 something, whatever. In Herschel Street in Brisbane.
This bloke, right? This bloke.
It was the cheapest alternative. I couldn't afford a warehouse at the time.
Yeah.
So it was a 100 square meter apartment.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to have to pay for rent for me and my building.
That's true.
So I lived in the ensuite.
Yep.
Then it walked out.
So you lived in the ensuite.
So my bedroom in the ensuite.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay. I was going to say
ensuite bedroom.
Did you roll the swag out in the ensuite and just roll it up to have a shower?
No, I had my bathroom and bedroom.
Yeah.
And then walk out and you had the living room, which was the office, and I had desks all along the window overlooked the Brisbane River.
Yeah.
Then in the
pretty pimped out office
spare room, we had the cosmetic lab.
Oh my god!
Which looked like a crack house.
It's Walter White over here.
Yeah,
we're cooking, Jesse.
We're cooking.
My rent inspections were hilarious. My rent inspections were hilarious.
Yeah.
So we had full cosmetic lab set up in there, and then the main office had the kitchen, which was obviously I used to cook at night, and then that was the staff kitchen. We had a staff bathroom, a shower, a laundry.
Yeah.
And
did everyone have swabs to go to the gym and stuff?
No.
Just you had that privilege.
I didn't even go to the gym, mate. I was just working and drinking. I think from like 2013 to like 2016, I put on like 15 kilos. It was horrible.
And you haven't got rid of it?
No, I got rid of it and got it back again. I'm starting all over again.
Mate,
COVID, yeah.
Oh, 75 hard, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So then we had...
COVID hasn't been kind to either of us, right?
No. It's called fucking doing the work.
Yeah,
the COVID kilos that we put on.
COVID kilos. Yeah, I know.
I'm definitely putting... Yeah. So, and then we had... literally I was in that apartment for 2 years.
Yeah.
Until you could, you open the door and you literally had to squeeze through the door and squeeze in the hallway between boxes.
Yeah.
And I went, we've got to move. And so that was the first time I went out into a factory. And I learned that one of my sales trainers back in the day was Jordan Belfort before it was famous, the Wolf of Wall Street.
Yep.
And one of the lessons I learned from him was grow until you're so big you're busting at the seams.
Yeah.
And then once you're doing that, then you can move. If you try and have this baller apartment, baller office, huge warehouse, when you start up, you're just fucking burning cash that you could be putting into inventory and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And that was the same as I remember seeing your little place. And when you're starting up, you're almost embarrassed. You're like, fuck, I'm so tiny. And you cram it in, and everyone, you saw our warehouse. Did you see our warehouse?
No, I never saw it.
We had me, Hayden, and Damo sitting in literally less than this corner.
Yeah. So the whole talking about warehouses and the stock, right?
Yeah.
When Blaze and I started, we didn't want to hold stock. We went through the whole thing of going, let's go print on demand and use someone else, and that's a headache that we don't have to worry about, because I've come from a traditional style business where you indent stock, you bring in stock, and you try and sell it. If you can't sell it, then you put it on sale, right?
Look at that, that's right.
And that ends up it cheapens the brand, I think, right? Because you
have to discount your brand.
It trains the customer to wait for sales, and that we never want to do that. And as a result of looking at what we do now, we rarely go on sale on our brand. So
we do 3 times a year.
Yeah. So
after payday, and we have a wacky Wednesday.
Yeah.
Which is our own Black Friday, Cyber Monday thing we make.
So with NT, we go on sale twice a year, and it's for Territory Day. Because it's for the territory, right?
Yeah.
So that's 1st of July, and so we do that for 2 days, 3 days, and even then, the discount is very minimal. And Black Friday, that's the only times we don't even do Boxing Day.
Yep.
We don't do that.
We do value adds. We like throwing in more stuff with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And add value. You don't want to devalue your brand.
No.
If you can add something awesome, that's worth a lot of money to someone, and they feel better for it as well.
Absolutely.
And I feel like it's for customers, for me, right?
Yeah.
We're privileged to have them, number one. We don't take any of our customers for granted.
Absolutely.
And they pay for our team, our business to be able to do it. And we're hopefully adding massive value to their lives, hence why they repeat buy.
Wow, it's the Gary Vee style, isn't it? Just create value, just give value. So, I guess, we don't go on sale. And so, we were like, okay, let's not have a warehouse. Let's do everything remotely. Let's live the digital nomad sort of style. And
I tried to do that as well. I wanted to outsource everything, just sell it, be a brand, but we end up manufacturing everything. And I'm so fucking glad we did, though, because we control everything now.
Control. So, and this is where it came to a point with our brands. We're just like, okay, we're pushing this product and it's doing well, but there's a lot of things in the background that we didn't have transparency on. Where's that order? Where's this? And there's a lot of things that were going wrong in the background, and so we were just like, we're gonna have to bring it in house. And at the time, I was working full time, so I would go home, and in my little single garage that was chock-a-block full of crap anyway, I would go there and I'd be printing t-shirts in my garage. From the time I got home until midnight, and just printing NT t-shirts and dispatching stock,
hustling,
and packing my car, loading my car up, and the next day on my lunch break, I've got half an hour for lunch. We racing to the post office, dropping it off, and then racing back. And that's what my life was like for a couple months. And then,
how long did you do that for?
I think I did that for about 4 months. And
short.
Yeah, it was short. And then I finished up at the job that I was at. I was there for almost 12 years.
Wow.
And I finished up there, and that was really hard because, I really enjoyed the people that I worked with, and I had a lot of fun there. They taught me 99% of what I know now, and the way I do things, I take that from
80.
And
80, you improved it.
Yeah, improve it. But, we do things so different to what was done there. And that's not the wrong way to do it by any means. A lot of people do it that way and they're very successful. But for me, that wasn't what I wanted. And so I ended up, working in my garage, and then we bit the bullet and got a warehouse. And we hired this warehouse, and I'm like, holy shit, this is a big warehouse.
It's huge.
It's big.
No, not that. No. This is the start, dude. That's two.
Oh, right.
This is what I was talking about. Small places. You start somewhere and you're nothing.
So this area in here, that was pretty much like, this kind of feels bigger than what my warehouse was.
I'm pretty sure it was.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you were like us. You were sitting in an office, and I remember there was a table like this.
Yeah.
And all four of you sitting at it.
Yeah.
And then everything else is t-shirt and boxes, and I'm walking in, I'm like, fuck yes, this is what it's about.
And yeah, so like we had this little path to get around the warehouse to try and in between all these boxes and stuff.
Okay, health and safety out the window.
Don't say that. Anyone from health and safety,
we are all legit now.
They're going to bust in again.
Yeah. But so we rode through that for as long as we could. And then we ended up, taking over the place next door. We had another warehouse next door, which was just bulk storage, and then we were just like, we need something bigger. Like we're growing in a way that we can't. Our business cannot grow without air. Like we're being suffocated. We need something more, and that's when we pulled the trigger and got something massive.
It's fucking scary as well.
It's huge. Like as a business owner, you've got staff, you've got responsibilities, there's overheads, and sometimes it's not all about making money. You don't always have a big nice fat bank account. It is
not in the stock industry, bro.
No, absolutely not, right? And this is the reason why we didn't want to go in the stock industry, and then all of a sudden now we've got a warehouse full of stock. But there's times where you look at your accounts and you're like, ooh,
I got $1.
Yeah. It's just like, I really hope that account drops in when they say they're going to drop it in, because if it doesn't, how the staff can get paid, right? So there's a few moments like that where it's tough. But that's all part and parcel of being a business owner, right? And trying to make that work. But yeah, so now we've got this awesome warehouse, which is given us the opportunity to grow. We've got a space to be able to do photography and shoots, and we've got plenty of office space that we can grow into.
And you've already fucking filled it, almost.
Man, I had like 4 containers dropping 2 weeks after we'd signed the contract, and we hadn't even had the racking up. We already had containers rolling through there. So.
Well, it's the same because when I started the business,
it was an absolute fluke that happened, but I'm glad it did.
Literally, I actually forgot what I was going to talk about. Tired.
Signing here?
Signing leases. Whatever. Anyway, even when we moved in here, we were chocked to the rafters in our old place. Moved here, 2 weeks. Full.
Yeah, exactly.
Like literally just full, and you're like, oh my god. So, and then you do a bit of a reshuffle, you tidy up, and you're like, oh, there's a little bit more room.
Yeah. Oh, there's one pallet space there.
There's a little bit more there.
Let's get that in there.
Keep going, you keep going, you keep going. So,
well, we've got this little space in the back. We got a basketball ring, right? We all love basketball, so at the back we've got this space, and it's just like, do we sacrifice the basketball court? It's a very controversial conversation. Like everyone's just like, no, you can't do that.
You know,
like
voting system on it.
Man, like it would be a hard no, right? So, but yeah, I don't know. Something's got to give, right? So,
but apart from like sport and stuff and camaraderie and bring people together, what does a basketball give you?
Mate, it's stress relief.
Yeah.
If you're fucking
exercise,
so, for example, when we were going through COVID and we released our Germ Killer, our guy, like, we went from 3 to 10 people.
Yeah.
Went from 140 square meter warehouse to 400. You were there. We're bloody working 18 hours a day.
Yeah.
When everyone had an Easter weekend off.
Yeah.
We did the entire Easter weekend, 18 hours a day.
Yeah.
Everyone copping abuse online.
Yeah.
Like, it was because they had to wait more than 24 hours.
Exactly. And the users and the customers now are used to that fast turnaround.
You, Amazon.
Thank you very much, Bezos. He's just stuffed it for all of us. But yeah, and the customers are used to that now, fast delivery and all that sort of stuff. And you got to be really on the ball and in tune with that, or else you can lose customers.
100%. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And until we got smashed like that, because we literally it totally changed our business, that little thing, because of how ridiculous it was. Plus, at the same time, we had online sales going through the roof anyway, naturally, because people couldn't move anywhere.
That's right.
And what did they do when they weren't working? Growing a fucking beard.
Yeah.
So
perfect. It was like the perfect storm for you.
it was insane. And when most people put their head down,
I had a trim a little while ago, but I just
trimmed 2 days ago, mate. I look like a homeless person. I own a bloody men's grooming product company, and I look like I was not groomed at all.
I went around and had dinner with my old girl, and she goes, "That's ridiculous. You got to get rid of that." I'm like, "No, I won't get rid of it." She goes, "Honestly, I'm gonna come behind you one day and just go snip." And I was like, "Okay." So I cleaned it up a little bit. Thanks, mate. But it's getting a bit long again.
You got to make it look tidy. Your beard looks tidy.
Oh, well, it's thanks to these amazing products that I've got, these beard oils, the beard wax, and all that. It just keeps it all in place,
mate. Whatever. So what's next? You got anything? So you can't tell us what's next, but have you got some stuff in the pipeline?
Yeah. So look, obviously there's
any more brands we haven't spoken about.
There's like.
What the rest of them? Just name them off, and we can. If there's anything cool, we're going. They're all fucking cool though.
Okay, so we've got. So like.
You should do a bin chicken one though. You got bush chicken.
Well, we've got inflatable bin chickens, right?
Inflatable bin chickens.
Yeah.
Are they actually bins?
No. Like inflatable ibis.
Yeah.
Right? So I've got big inflatable ibis for the pool. Have you not seen that?
No.
Oh man, I got to bring them down for you. They're awesome. Like for if anyone's got a pool and for summer, like it's amazing. So everyone's got these big flamingos and unicorns and shit. Yeah.
You got a bin chicken.
Yeah, we just get big bin chickens. So much fun.
We'll have to get one of them.
Yeah, you should have taken some of them to the island, mate. That would have been a lot of fun.
Had I known, I would have.
Next time, mate. Next time. But
they get the girls the bin chickens.
Just they're amazing. Like you can fit like 3 people on them. They're massive.
Wow.
But yeah, so like I don't know, we've got like Victor Bravos, we've got Red Tins.
What's Red Tins?
Red Tins like South Australian.
Like
West End.
West End. Bit of,
we've got Frothies, which is like a one that sort of has
that's a huge
whole
name.
ones. Yeah, so Frothies, it's just has all of the brands on there, and we can have some fun with that and do some really weird and wacky stuff that isn't necessarily aligned with a brand, but we can do some cool stuff.
Have you got any? Do you want to do any collabs with official breweries in regards to Frothies and stuff like that?
Yeah, look, would love to. I don't know that they would really, want to. I don't know. Like it's.
You guys have got such a massive reach now. That's the thing.
Yeah, and we can do it. It's not a problem. I don't have a problem with it, but maybe they might see it.
Even just independent, like that craft brewing scene. Because that's probably what it more pertains to.
Yeah, look, absolutely. Like the craft stuff is awesome. I'm a big supporter of that.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's gonna hit home as much as these other ones, I don't know, but we'll see. But yeah, there's
so Frothies.
Yeah, Frothies. I think we have another one called Hexdirt.
Have you thought about tapping into Great Northern?
Yeah, we've got Blackfish. We've got,
oh, really? Already?
Yeah, we've got a few of those little. Well, but that's sort of on Frothies. It's not necessarily its own brand, but we have a bit of fun with that, and there's a few other ones that we sort of target. You can just jump on frothies.com and have a look.
Frothies.com. There you go.
there's a few on there.
What a plug.
So and then obviously, what else we got online? It's kind of loose track. But we've got a couple other ones coming out. We've got this new brand that we've bought. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's in a totally different niche that we've never ever done before.
Wow.
And I'm really, really excited about that. It's already had a lot of traction from the previous people, but they just didn't really sort of continue that. And so we see a great opportunity there, and we're going to jump in that and go pretty hard with that. And then
what were some of the learnings you got from like doing an acquisition? Because I've never done one before.
Yeah, like it's interesting, right? And so I guess we lance on our accountants and our lawyers pretty hard to try and make sure that happens. And we already knew the guy.
Because was the business good, or was it the brand you were buying?
It's the brand.
Yeah.
So this person had the brand that did well, had a really strong following, really passionate following, and that's what we really liked about it, and that's the biggest takeaway from this particular brand. And so we were like, well, okay, we looked at the numbers, and the numbers were there. The numbers stacked up, and for us, it was just like, I think that there's a lot of potential in this space. It's a space that isn't saturated at the moment. So how do we, how can we sort of get into that?
Is it still in the alcohol niche or that
No,
quirky?
it's totally different. Totally different.
Yeah,
so it's more of a lifestyle brand.
Awesome.
So it's a bit different to what we've done in the past, but I see huge potential with it, and that's why I've sort of gone down that path. So yeah, so we've acquired that, and we're just in the handover period at the moment. A couple of weeks, we're launching a swimwear brand.
Yes,
which will be fun.
Yes,
which will be fun.
So yeah,
swimwear
to keep your eye out for that one.
Yeah, that'll be fun. So yeah, that's something that we've been working on for a while. It's not like a quick start, launch like some of our other brands, but something we put a bit of time into and just making sure that the branding's right. And
it's brilliant.
And the message is right. Yeah.
Can't wait.
I can't say anything right now, but maybe next time.
Exactly.
Right?
I can't wait.
But yeah, so that'll be a lot of fun. And then yeah, I guess from what Blaze and I have learnt with how print on demand works, we're looking to launch our own facility to be able to do print on demand. So we already have all the printers, all the systems, all the stock.
You've got like one of the only printers in the world at the moment, don't you?
Yeah, look, we're very lucky to have partnered up with Brother, and Brother, we buy a lot of their products, and we've always loved their printers, and they released a product earlier this year, which in Australia they haven't really brought too many here, and we're lucky enough to get one of the very first, or the first one here in Australia, and I think we'll have a rollout of a few more over time, and they're a fantastic machine. They're awesome. And so, yeah, so we're just building that facility up enough so that we can, give other small brands the opportunity to be able to grow like what we did, right? So we want to be able to give back to small brands or entrepreneurs that want a side hustle, right? So we already have the facility. We already use it for ourselves. Why don't we open that up to other people? So we spent the last 12 months developing this app, which is, it's done, but we just haven't launched it yet. We've just got some testing to do, and there's a few other little internal production software that we're working on. But once that's ready, we'll be able to launch that and be able to, I guess, come out and tell our story about what we've been able to achieve, and give people a bit of inspiration to be able to go, well, why don't I have a side hustle? Why can't I do this?
Yep.
And hopefully give people the opportunity to be able to
make it their main hustle.
Make it their main hustle. Go from the side to the main. Why not? So, and it's one saying we always talk about in house is it's from concept to cotton, right? Awesome. So it's an idea, put it on a t-shirt and sell it. Yep. Concept to cotton. So
it's from cup to glass with our new gin distillery.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Yeah.
So concept to cotton. So. And so, yeah, we're really excited about launching that later this year. Hopefully it's this year.
It said cup to glass. It was field to glass.
Field to glass.
Sorry.
I was going to question that, but I was like, whatever.
Let that one slide.
Yeah.
Let that one slide. So, yeah, so we're really excited about doing that. So that's something that we've put a lot of work in. And I guess everything that we've done with the brands has been able to fund that and get
that learning curve as well.
The learning curve and all that, learning what not to do, learning how we can build in processes that make sense and make it easy for these people entering the market. And I guess we want to try and put together a full educational spread for these people. Go, okay, I've got an idea. How do I get that idea on a t-shirt, and how do I get it in the hands of someone? So we're going to go through and create these just, a package so that everyone can go, yep, this is my idea. How do I do it? Bang.
Like a course almost.
Like a course, yeah. I'm like
a learning process.
Yeah, look, I'm
because at the end of the day, you can provide as much learning as you want if no one takes action, and that's probably the biggest thing. And I spoke in our first podcast with Sam. It was taking action. It was the biggest difference between what I call a entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Who talks about a side hustle.
Yeah.
and then someone who really does implement what they say they're going to do.
Yeah.
And puts their balls in line, fucking goes out
Absolutely.
there. So.
Look, everyone throws, the entrepreneur word around. I'm not a massive fan of the word. I don't like it. It is just, you get out there and you do it.
Get shit done.
There's a lot of people that label themselves entrepreneurs, and they're not really, as you said, they're entrepreneurs. But people love using that word, and it's
cooled down a little bit at the moment.
It has.
But yeah.
It has.
But at the end of the day, it's about getting shit done. If you're a good member of society and you want to provide something that's productive, like contribute and make something of value, then you're going to do well because your intentions are right. Not just doing it to rort someone to get a bit of money. It's like you actually need to make something that's valuable, that builds a culture around it, or it doesn't necessarily build.
Look, I've got friends and people that I've been introduced to that have small side hustles and businesses. If they come to me, I help them. Right? It's because I want to see them grow, and that is so much more rewarding watching someone achieve their goals and grow and get this, absolute passion and drive for what they're doing. And if they hit their goals, or if I can help push them to exceed their goals in a way that. You know how much more rewarding that is? So amazing. Much more rewarding. So
well, it's this amazing continuous cycle because if, like, entrepreneurs, the definition of it, I think it is someone who puts
Q Hayden.
Yeah. Great risk.
Let me.
It's great financial risk.
Yeah.
You define this in the documentary though, so.
Oh, do I?
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, so Hayden started filming a documentary about the bearded chap, and it was literally
March 16th.
It was literally 2 days before COVID.
I think it started well before COVID. I think,
but really started 2 days before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We spoke about it, and then you started filming, and then literally the next 2 days, the fucking world fell to pieces.
Yeah.
And it was, I don't even remember half the stuff that happened, but in the documentary,
I was so excited because you mentioned that we were going to America. I was like, cool.
And that got fucked up.
And that didn't happen, so I was like, what else do I do?
I'm meant to be in Italy at the moment for a wedding, and I'm meant to be going to Oktoberfest, right?
That's God. Have you been before?
Yeah, once. It was amazing, right?
What tent did you go to?
Not
the living, bro.
Oh no, it wasn't that one. It was another one.
We're in the Spaten tent.
That's Spaten, yeah.
Yeah, that's the first tent where they tap the kegs.
Yeah. No, it wasn't that one. It was another one. At that time, Hovenbrow.
Yeah.
No, it was an awesome tent, right?
Great.
But it's such an amazing experience.
It is. Did you buy Lederhausens?
So I bought them over here before I went.
I
got told, don't buy them over there. Buy them here and take them with you. So I went.
Why?
Because it's so expensive over there,
dude.
Right? But I bought
the outfits.
You're shopping the wrong place.
No, well, I bought the legit leather ones.
Yeah,
like full legit,
dude.
Traditional ones here in Australia.
Pants.
Yeah, and they're amazing, right? But yeah, it was so much fun. But we were there for like 3 days. Like we were, my past partner and I, we were there for a month in Europe, and that was like the back end of the trip because I was like, if I'm going to, Europe around this time,
got to be there.
We're going to Germany and we're going to Munich and we're going to Oktoberfest. That's like the only thing. I said, I don't care where we go, we have to go here.
And then you were drunk for 72 hours.
And for 3 days. And
it's insane.
And she was she's gluten intolerant, so she couldn't drink beer. So it was tough.
We had a boys trip.
Oh, right.
And so we originally started in France, and then we made our way to Amsterdam and ended up in Munich.
Yeah, right.
And so, and I was still at uni at the time.
Fresh.
No fucking money. I didn't have one of my other mates who came with me was even going to bail.
2 cents to rub together. Yeah.
Literally. And then our other 2 mates that were already over there. And then we're meeting a couple other guys just in between. So we all met up in Munich. And so everyone else was staying together. And then me and one of my mates, we were so poor.
Yeah.
We stayed in the campgrounds.
Yeah, right.
And we went shopping, and so we had this plan, right? We'd stay there for 2 days.
How'd you buy your house?
I'm going to tell you the whole story, right?
He didn't buy it.
He didn't buy it. Yeah. Whoops.
No, so we got into Munich, and then we got. We actually didn't even book our campsite. We had to call my mate's dad because we didn't have enough money, and he booked it. Oh, we didn't have internet access either, and he booked it online for us. So we rocked up.
Yeah, there was no internet back in the 70s anyway, was it?
So it was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It was like 2024.
Yeah.
And literally,
I'm not calling you an old man.
we rocked up. I've got some grades coming through, trust me. We rocked up and it's fucking freezing because Oktoberfest is actually in September.
Yep.
And
times are fresh. It's fresh.
Oh,
and it's not in October.
It's not. It's in the end of September.
It's end of September.
So people freak out that Oktoberfest, it's actually in the end of September.
What? Oh, why? Is that just something?
They got so drunk.
Yeah, they just get drunk for a whole month.
You've got the internet access. We don't. So,
but we do you want to top up, mate?
Oh yeah, why not?
Up to you. So we were in the campground, and in the campground they actually have a still wave based on they've got like a river system.
Yeah.
And there's a still wave. So there's guys in steamers jumping in, surfing this still wave in the middle of Munich.
Oh, wow.
In this campsite. It's freaking awesome.
Is that in Munich or
it's in Munich, bro.
Isn't there one in Amsterdam too?
Surely. But this is a still wave in the campsite.
That's
so we'd go down in the morning, we'd wake up, got this tent. On the first day we got our tent, we went into one of the big department stores in there. Because we asked the locals, we bought a case of beer.
Yeah.
A bottle of Jaeger.
Yeah.
Went back to camp, cracked some stuff.
So all the basics.
Yeah. Went into the
pretzel. Did you get a pretzel?
Of course.
Knuckle?
Yeah.
Did you get a pork knuckle?
Oh, absolutely.
I had pork
Oktoberfest.
knuckle,
Ridiculous.
Is that much different to a goose camel knuckle? What is it?
Camel toe. Bit different.
A little bit, mate.
Bit different.
You have a lot to learn, my friend.
We won't go there.
And anyway,
this might get kicked off iTunes pretty quickly. If
No, we're explicit.
Explicit.
We've been saying cut.
No, we haven't.
I've been saying it.
Yeah,
It's
been
said.
I haven't said see you in the NT. It's
an invitation to the greatest territory in the world.
Exactly.
That's all we're trying to do.
Exactly. So we went to into the main CBD precinct in Munich, and it's absolutely stunning city.
Yeah.
And they had it was almost like Christmas. That's how
It's popping.
Festival it was. It was just
at that
ridiculous.
time of year, it's popping.
Went to this department store, absolutely hustled in like the cheap rack section. Bought the best thing we could. So we got 3/4 liter Hausens.
Luke hustling, really?
Yeah. The traditional shirt, which was like €4.
Yeah.
We just got the cheapest one we could,
Yeah.
and we spent $30 on like the felt hats.
Yeah.
Rolled out like we got changed.
To get the high socks?
No, I didn't get the high socks.
Yeah.
There were 4 sizes too small.
We just pulled our normal ones up, but we didn't have a sleep. Oh, I didn't bring a sleeping bag, so I bought the cheapest sleeping bag. It was like €30, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck yeah, done. So we got changed in the change rooms into our gear because everyone's walking around in Munich City, already dressed up in Lederhausen.
You feel really underdressed, don't you? When everyone else is rocking it and you're not, and you're like, oh,
you feel weird.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's like rocking up to a costume party.
Have you been to Europe?
No.
Mate, you got to do it.
I've been to Japan though. That was
I did Japan in February just before the shutdown, so it was unbelievable.
Yeah,
but Europe is ridiculous. It's so good, and being in Munich during Oktoberfest, it's a totally different buzz. It is so good.
Well, we walked back like from the shops, put our stuff away, and then we ended up meeting all our mates. We went to the tent. So it was the night before. So big night, obviously.
Yeah.
Next day, rolling tents.
Big night.
10 a.m. They cracked the keg, so the Spaten tent is the first one to crack it. Knock it on. 2 hours later was our first beer.
What?
That's how long it took to get round. But we were the only Australians. There was 6 of us, I think. Everyone else is German, so we got into like the whole song singing and like everyone was German around us. It was amazing.
Smashing the big
Steins. So
Steins.
Anyway, absolutely shit-faced 2 hours later.
Yeah.
Pork knuckle. First night, obviously quite large.
Mm-hmm.
Get back to the tent, crash into it, unroll my sleeping bag, pull it up. It goes just over my legs. I'd fucking bought a kid's sleeping bag. It is like
no wonder it was like €20.
Yeah, it was, and my mate was just pissing himself laughing, and I'm like,
He was also pissing himself.
So
it was borderline. Mate, we didn't
Pissing
hop
himself and laughing.
we were in those litter housings for the entire time. So, and I'll let you know how long we stayed there for.
A while, I bet.
So,
did you bring him home with you, or did you just
absolutely, I got him.
Yeah,
they had my drinking pants.
Yeah.
So
maybe next time we'll do the Lindhausen.
Absolutely, yeah, that's cool.
Coming up.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, end of September. And so I pulled this sleeping bag up, and it went halfway up my legs. I'm like, fuck, and my mate just pissing himself laughing in like a minus 10-degree sleeping bag, and we just come through Berlin, and I had a beanie. Yeah. But my beanie was a full balaclava. Oh. And so when it was really cold, I just pulled it all the way down.
It's not like Willem Powerfish's one, you know.
Legit terrorist like balaclava.
Yeah. Blokes on blokes, right? Just
so I'd roll it up as a normal beanie, and then and I was so fucking glad I bought it because when it was 2:00 in the morning, freezing cold in a tent in Munich in Germany.
Well,
so,
you got your legs and your junk all sorted, and you got the head.
So all I did, I was so drunk, I just got the rest of my backpack that took us for the 6 weeks, dumped it on top of me, and pulled the balaclava down and passed out.
Layers, mate, layers.
So that is what I did for, I think we were there for a week.
That's probably what saved you to tell this tale today, to be honest.
A week.
A week. I'm pretty sure it was like 5 days.
Living under dirty clothing. Dirty laundry.
I didn't wash those litter housings for a long time, but there was every fucking stain in the book in those pants.
He probably still does.
No, we had them leather dry clean.
Leather dry clean.
But they're well worn in the bum from sitting down and drinking.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
Of course they are.
from the friction, no doubt.
Yeah.
But we
catching up with Willem down the coast.
We were going to. The original plan was to stay 3 days.
Yeah.
And then we were going to hire a smart car, drive to Nuremberg racecourse.
Yep.
And drive a lap each. We're going to go
in the smart car.
Rochambeau on a smart car because they'll do one lap and it's probably going to fuck up or we're going to crash it.
A smart car on a speedway lap. Oh,
exactly.
Might take you 3 hours to get around there.
Yeah, that's
right. We decided on the third day, highly intoxicated, that was not going to happen and we were just going to spend the extra 2 days.
It's probably a good idea.
There and
explore
enjoy
a couple more
Oktoberfest.
tents. Yeah.
Mate.
Exactly. More knuckles.
But dude, it's one of the
3 knuckles deep in Got to have some good pork.
It's one of the best events you'd ever go to. Like,
it's amazing. And when you're there and you're walking around and you see all these tents and everyone is just vibing, like, it is so good. I'm devoed that I'm not there now. Like, I was meant to go over.
Where in Italy we meant to go? Because that's one of my favorite places as well.
So yeah, I love Italy. I've done Rome and Florence. Florence is amazing. I love Florence.
Rome is like a mindfuck because, like, my last holiday there, we had a trade show in Sweden. I flew straight to Rome.
Mm-hmm.
Hired a little Fiat 500 Sport.
Yeah.
Drove into Rome. I wanted to get some cigars. I was going to this small little tiny town called Bresciata in like southern West Italy. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, go in and get some cigars. Where's the best place in Rome to get it? Pulled up, driving through these little cobblestone streets. And I'm like, you know what? I'm fucking in Rome. I'm just going to be a full Italian.
Yeah.
Tourists in the road. I'm like, on the horn, just beeping. Park the car, hop out, walk across the road, double check myself. The Pantheon, I literally parked outside the Pantheon.
Yeah.
5,000 years old, like however many years old it is.
You probably drove past the Trevi Fountain and all the other places. Yeah,
it's a mind fuck because you just cannot believe that people have been around that long.
But the good thing about Rome is like you can stay in one place, and we stayed in this area that was down from this courtyard or whatever it's called. I can't remember.
Cobblestone Street somewhere.
It was a couple of Black Hops deep, but yeah, just down the road, and you leave your Airbnb and you walk down and you go past the Pantheon and you go past
Colosseum,
the Colosseum, the Trevi Fountain. You walk everywhere, and it is so amazing. Like there's just so much history there. You just don't realize it. It's just
freaks you out.
It's awesome.
It's like when you go to England and you walk into.
I've never been to England.
Yeah. Well, I never used to. I used to go to England and then get the fuck out of there. I was like, there's too many Aussies there. Then I spent some time there.
Yeah.
it is an amazing place.
Yep.
London is amazing. And I remember I walked into one of these old pubs, and I'm like, how old is this pub? Like, literally had to duck.
Yeah, well, you're a giant, so it's understandable.
Not as tall as you, mate.
Come on, mate.
And Damo would be sliding under those doors. Anyway,
Damo would
literally walk in. You had to duck under these doors, and I was like, "How old is this pub?" It's like early 1800s, late 1700s.
Wow.
All wood. It was designed for very, very small people.
Yeah.
being
Oh,
politically
absolutely,
correct.
absolutely.
And that fucking pub
still going.
is older than our country.
Yeah, older than our
modern country.
That's right. That's right.
It's a total mind blower.
Yeah, it is amazing. Like
Traveling's awesome.
Yeah, traveling is the thing that you can't. It is the best thing that you can do because it gives you so much.
Learning and exposure,
like riches that you can't. Like it's traveling is the best thing you can do, and
it makes you grow up, especially because you have to learn that you're responsible for yourself.
That's right, and there's a lot of places that I haven't been able to go to, or haven't gone to yet. Like, but there's the place I have gone, I loved, and I'll go back again. And there's so much more of the world that I want to go and see. And I guess I'm lucky that in terms of with my business and all that sort of stuff, I'm given the opportunity to be able to go and see the world. So I've been pretty good. So yeah,
awesome, man.
Yeah.
So what I was gonna ask you was, what is one of the most crazy things? Like the whole journey of business is amazing. You have your ups and downs, whatever. What's been the highlight so far on the journey? Like that moment you're like, this is fucking awesome. And the next question is going to be,
has it happened yet?
So far. It's the journey. Because I think a lot of people, they have this goal and they're like, I want to be the best fucking this in the world. And then they spend all this time getting there and they get there and they're like,
what do I do now? Yeah, what do you do once you get there?
It's like climbing a hill. You get to the top and you're like, all right, what's next? It's that journey. And this is something I've only been able to understand the last probably year and a half, 2 years, is you have to enjoy that journey, good and bad.
Yep.
And the people that are in it and the experiences and the places, like that is what actually makes it fun.
Yeah, like talking, and I've spoken to you a number of times about this, but like staff and all that sort of stuff. So you're in a position also like I am, small business, and like we've got a number of staff and trying to manage staff, and you end up spending less time working on product and concepts and all that stuff, and you end up managing staff, and that's all good and that's all part of the process, right? But that's been one of the hardest and most challenging things, making sure that we continue growing in a way that because you have responsibilities. I don't have kids, you don't have kids, but we have we now have mouths,
kids.
we have mouths to feed, right? And like we're almost at 18, 19 mouths to feed, and they've got other mouths too. So there's responsibilities. So for us, that's one of our biggest challenging factors, is making sure that we always have that commitment down pat and do that. I love watching people grow in our business. I've got one of our staff members who is one of our longest serving staff members. He wants to get into more design and that sort of stuff, and we're trying to help him through that process. We're going to help him get his actual tertiary education.
Amazing.
Get him to do that. So that he can study and do all that sort of stuff at night time or on weekends, but he's able to actually do that. And we can, sort of then move him into that part of the business a little bit more. Love him. He's amazing. He's designed a few T-shirts that have, gone into City Beach, and he gets a massive kick out of that. And it's amazing seeing that sort of stuff and seeing them have that joy and happiness. And I guess, for me, and I know it's a big thing for Blaze too, is actually seeing small brands grow and develop and blossom. And that's the reason why we're pushing so hard to change our business. We can continue doing all the branded stuff, and we will, because it's fun and we enjoy that. But there's a side of it that will give back, essentially. and being able to tell people and teach people about how to have a side hustle and how to do something and give them the tools to be able to do that. And hopefully we can do it better than everyone else. Like, yeah, there's plenty of people in the States and plenty of people in Europe that are doing it, not many people in Australia, and we want to be one of the best in doing that and giving people the tools to be able to have a side hustle and one day make it their main hustle.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So with that again, like what's been the highlight so far? Like one of those moments that just sticks in your head straight away because it's got to be those gut ones.
For me, the very first time seeing a product out there in the wild, that was a big moment.
Yeah.
That was cool. Right?
Was this the first time you saw one or the first time you were walking around you're like, oh, that's my product?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first time I saw it out there in the wild, right? So that was a big thing for me, but that's, you know, a while ago now. I think watching people achieve stuff. So it's hard to explain, but I've got a few small brands that come in and do some stuff, and I give them a bit of information and say, oh, you should maybe do this.
One of them.
Well, yeah, but like I try and help brands, give them knowledge that I have to help you guys and stuff like that. And watching you guys succeed, I get the biggest kick out of that. It's all well and good selling whatever product, and but it's seeing small brands sort of achieve stuff. That's what I love, and that's why we're moving in the direction that we're moving, so we can actually do more of that.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's a hard one. Well, I haven't quite got there yet, but we will.
Dude, you already are.
Maybe one day, if we've got our own podcast and we can have an interview with one of our first, customers and talk about their success, then that'll be a highlight for me because I really want to see other people succeed.
Yeah, it's the same as us. Like for me, that first spot in the wild, like even the first time I saw a customer rolling a shirt, I literally ran through the shopping center.
Yeah, and
I grabbed him. I'm like, "Hey, bro," and he's like, "What?" He's like, "What?" Turn around and like, fight me. I'm like, "Hey, I'm Luke.
Yeah,
that's my company.
Thank
you so much."
Yeah.
And he's like, "What the fuck?" And he just like lost his shit.
Yeah,
and I like excited to meet me, and I'm like, "Thank you so much." And I'm like, just talking about how he heard about the brand, and like,
it's an amazing feeling.
It is. You get goosebumps, and then he told me his story and was like, feeling like shit.
Yeah.
His girlfriend bought him a present.
Yeah.
Started looking after himself and looking after his beard.
Yeah.
Felt good. I think he was like in between jobs at the time. And like he started feeling good. He started working out, and then he went and got a job. Like felt good, and it was just like this whole like reaction. Yeah, and it's like what our mission comes in. It's like making good men great.
Yeah.
By using our products to make themselves look and feel good,
and
so they can go out and do awesome things.
That's amazing, and that's a awesome thing, and
But that's what just makes my heart. I just love it, and I meet all my and it inspires my guys. Well, like those days that are really shit. You're tired. You don't want to have to do anything, and then someone talks to you, they call up or they leave a review, and they're like,
"How good are reviews?" Sometimes the reviews just make your day. Like they
amazing.
do. They do. The reviews.
The shit ones
awesome.
are like, "See ya."
Nah, you follow it up. You follow it up, and
exactly.
you try and make good on that.
100%. You learn from it because if you've actually done a bad job, the fact that someone took the time to actually write to you,
absolutely,
because most people just would slag you. And it's not constructive. The people who leave really constructive criticism, I call, and I want to have a conversation with them because I'm like, hey, thanks for taking that time.
Why?
If they've stuffed up, here you go. We've got 110% guarantee.
Yep.
So if we stuff up and you want a refund, we'll give you 110%.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's our fault.
Absolutely.
But we've never had that ever happen to us, and it's because we actually call them.
Yeah.
Most businesses don't even. They just write you an email or they ignore you.
Yeah.
So when you get a call from a website business it blows people's minds.
Absolutely. So
there's little in the detail.
It's the smallest little things can change someone's experience dramatically, and that is the difference between, say, a small business and a big business, but that has a lifelong, lasting,
huge,
customer experience that they will tell 20 people about, and then all of a sudden they're customers, and then all of a sudden you do it again. It's all about the small little things. If you do every little thing, big things are easy to do.
Mate, I handwrite notes to some customers. If they've got a customer,
I
I've
envy-
seen some of those. They've been buying from us for almost 8 years now. I'll see them come across in a sale.
Yep.
I'll go down and write, "Hey, John, I just wanted to say thank you so much.
Yep.
You've been around since day dot.
Ongoing.
Thank you so much. Here's a free stubby cooler from me. Thank you so much for supporting our company." They, like, if I got that in the mail,
How is that user experience on the other end? He will open that.
I hope.
he will be just like,
But I want it to
"Holy
be."
shit." But that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is, and it's a small little thing that's taking you a small amount of time. And like, okay, we can't do this every single time, but if you can do it as much as you can, it's a huge user experience that they will love, and all of a sudden
they remember that.
They remember it, and all of a sudden they're along for the journey forever.
Exactly.
Right? And they will more than likely talk about your brand in a positive light, and you'll gain other customers. Word of mouth marketing is the best form of marketing.
Referral.
It is the best. And if you can create an experience for that customer, and then they
share it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because it's memorable.
And so the negatives they share that too.
And if you can fix I've found through my experience, I've had some customers who didn't have good experiences.
Yeah.
I fixed it,
mm-hmm.
and from that, they've been lifelong customers.
Absolutely.
Because we went the extra mile.
Yep.
We fixed their problem
Yep.
when they could have just went, I'll go somewhere else.
Yep.
I didn't take them for granted, and I won them back over. We serviced them, and we took accountability, and we took responsibility, and that made all the difference.
Yeah, look,
and they're still with us.
Absolutely. Sometimes if you've got a customer and you've actually failed on something and you've done something wrong, you haven't come to the level, and you go over and beyond to go and fix that. And like you said, just throw in a couple of extras, like a couple of stickers or a couple of stubby coolers, something like that, and you go and you actually show that you're actually trying to do your best to fix the issue. Those customers come back and they leave the best reviews, because they're like, these guys,
they fucked up. But then they came along and they went, they fixed it.
Or my parcel got lost by Ozpost or whatever, and then these guys came through. They gave me all my gear and a little bit extra, and they actually did it in a very timely manner. Like, that is really important, like the user experience. And I think a lot of brands need to make sure that they harvest that and just really work on their user experience. That is the biggest thing. Opening a package, and when you open a package, how does the product look? How's it displayed? And
that's one of the things that we're working on at the moment. Like, it's expensive to do,
and it's hard.
It is hard.
It's hard.
For us, the most important thing for me is to know that we don't take our customers for granted.
Yeah.
And we appreciate, because our products aren't cheap.
Yep.
And so when a customer gives their hard-earned money across, I want to make sure that they're appreciated.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, and that's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing that's happened to you that you can say?
That I can say. Having some like legal things is always, that's pretty scary. Having people, powers above you sort of throw down some legal threats and that sort of stuff. Yeah. That's pretty harsh. There's
Is it scary because it's unknown, or is it scary because you think something bad's gonna happen?
Well, it's more so the unknown, right?
That's what I found.
So when you go through it and then it comes around again, because it always comes around.
It's like gut wrenching that first time,
and like
feels like getting stabbed in the heart.
Yeah, and we all know the zone that we play in. We play in a very grey area, and that's the business that we have, and we understand that. But the first couple of times that sort of stuff happens, and like when Australian the ad society or ad agency they come through and they send you a letter saying you have broken the advertising rules, and the first time you see that, oh shit,
I'm going to jail.
What are we gonna do? I'm sorry, Mum. So you get those letters and they're just like, you've done this, you've broken the advertising rules, and you're like, shit, I've done something wrong. And then you try and look into it, you're like, oh well, what are they going to do? They can't really do much. And so, you know, you don't want to, you know,
but you're intense.
You don't want to poke the bear,
Yeah.
as they say. But you know, like we're trying to just continue running a business and trying to do what we do and do it in a fun, larrikin sort of way. But yeah, that the first time you sort of get those sort of things, it's always like, shit, okay, maybe we should probably wind it back a little bit. But yeah, but we've been pretty lucky. We've worked hard with what we do, and you know, we try and make calculated decisions, very quick calculated decisions. Yeah, and you know, we'll just keep rolling.
Did you hear about that tussle between McDonald's and Hungry Jack's at the moment?
Oh, the Big Jack,
yeah,
or whatever it is.
Yeah, apparently they've released an ad. It's like pretty much a big fuck you to McDonald's.
Pretty much, right?
Yeah,
but like
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I've seen it. That is like marketing 101, right? That is, you know, and they're like, well, we're bigger, right? Yeah, someone else got their nose out of joint because we've got, you know, this thing that apparently, you know, they think we've copied it, but our Big Jack is actually bigger.
Yeah.
Right? It's 20% bigger.
Yeah.
And they've gone on this whole marketing thing. And so the coverage and the exposure that they're going to get out for that, they'll pull out last minute before the trial goes. So they'll pull out and they'll just, you know, make it go away. But they'll run that to the last moment. And
I had a friend in, I think, Sydney or Melbourne, and he had a burger joint, and he literally, McDonald's went after him.
Yeah.
And he went in the news.
Yeah.
I messaged him. He said, I've never done more fucking business in my life.
Absolutely.
And literally, maybe he ran it for 2 weeks and pulled out.
Yeah.
But he was known now. It's almost their own worst enemy.
What about
they've just got full-time lawyers. Like I heard In and Out are one of the worst.
Apparently.
If you put anything up that's remotely like it, they're like...
Even just, you know, for like if you're doing T-shirts or any sort of stuff like that, like they are ruthless.
Yeah.
Ruthless.
Yeah, I've heard bad things.
Yeah, but yeah.
Dude, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Mate, thank you very much.
How long is this one?
2.
Oh, awesome. We didn't...
Fantastic. I was a bit stressed when I saw the numbers on Sam's one. Like,
dude, we drank
drank
a bottle and a half of booze in like an hour, and then that was just like rambling at the end.
That's why I wasn't going to bring any hard liquor. I was just going to bring a
we've
beer,
already got it here. So and then when Bitter Chap Gin rolls up, we'll have to...
Yeah, I'm all for that. I'm all for that.
Might be a 5-hour session.
Oh man! But thanks so much for coming on. Thanks so much for sharing your story, and I really appreciate you dropping the bomb about seeing the NT brand on our podcast. A bit of chat, it meant the world. But hopefully, if our listeners and viewers want to get in contact with you personally, what's your Instagram handle?
Bears Life on the gram. That's
awesome.
that's
appropriate.
Yeah, super original. That's my Instagram. But
what's so because the main t-shirt business, did you want to give that a plug?
It's Constant Supply.
Yep.
So you can probably find that on. There's no posts on Insta, but
no, it's for if someone wants to. Is this the lead into be able to create the products?
Yeah. So if you've got a small brand and you want to try and do something. Look us up at allthews.constant.supply. No .com, no .au, just
all the W's.
All the W's.
I've never heard that before.
I like that.
You haven't heard that before?
No, I have not either.
Yeah.
Smooth.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Don't even say that. The bit of chat.
The bit of chat.
As many W's as you need.
All the W's, yeah. And then Milton Mango, see you with the NT.
Yeah.
What's the website for that?
For NT, NT Unofficial.
NT Unofficial now.
Yeah,
excellent.
So
.com.
We didn't talk about that, but
yep.
We had to change it from NT Official to NT Unofficial. We were way too official, so
it's pretty official.
We're now.
It just means you're very professional.
Yeah, so we're now officially unofficial, right? so ntunofficial.com. So if you search stuff online will probably pop up. So
awesome. Well, thank you so much, man. It's great having you on.
Thank you very much, man.
Yeah,
you popped my cherry, mate. My podcast cherry.
Amazing. Well, it was a good one.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, dude. And we'll see you guys later.
Thanks, guys.